everybody. It's Georgia Rose back here in the soul space. I feel like I haven't been in the studio in a while. It's been a couple of weeks. I actually took July 4th weekend off, right? I finally gave myself a little space, a little soul space. And I also, the week before, I was in my home studio. So this is now the third Monday since I've been here. So it's really nice to see all of you, although I can't really see you, but it always sounds good when we're on TV to say that. So I would really love it if you would share the show. I'm going to give everyone a few minutes to just jump in and let's see what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to do a little astrology. We're going to do some cards. I know I haven't really been doing cards too much with you guys in the last couple of shows. We ran out of time. So we'll do that. And I also really want you guys to call in and comment and let me know what's on your minds, what you guys are thinking. How are you feeling this energy? What's going on with this energy? Have you felt a shift lately? What's the deal, right? I'm just going to share the show myself right now since we are live. And if you want to do that, that would be absolutely fabulous. Great, just did that. Okay, cool. Cool. So a lot of things are happening in the cosmos. Woo! Um, we've got a lot of things changing, a lot of shifting gears, a lot of planets moving this month. But the biggest thing we've got is the nodes of the moon are moving. What's a node of the moon? Well, the nodes of the moon are places in our chart that are actually our destiny, our fate. When I do a chart reading for someone, and by the way, I hope you all really enjoyed that online chart reading that we did with Aaron Bartles. I thought that was really informative and really cool for you guys to see kind of how I work and how I interpret a chart. And if you missed that show and you want to go back, it is on the Zencuda YouTube channel. So, go back and look at that. And that's really what you would expect if you came to me simply for an astrology reading. There's a lot of other types of readings I do, of course. I am a medium, a psychic. I can contact people who've passed over. We can work together to really track out in your astrology chart how to what your life path would be and how to really make that your full potential. And also I can do a reading with astrology charts comparing your chart to another person's if you have their birth time and place, and really find out what your relationship is about and why you have been karmically brought together. So there's a lot of different types of things I can do besides the one that you all witnessed when I was reading, basically just a basic reading for Aaron with his birth chart. But I thought it was really great to do that because it not only gives you guys an idea of how I read and what really my motivation is in helping you all find your life path, but I thought it was really interesting from a perspective of if you want to work with your own charts and what to look for, and I hope you got something out of that. I'm going to be doing more of those in the future. We'll run another contest. So if you want to share the show, I would absolutely appreciate that. All of my content that is on YouTube and it is live video is free to be shared. The only things that, of course, are not free to be shared is some of the things that are, have a paywall or that you would be buying a class for. So really have very powerful days that we're in the midst of right now. I don't know if you guys have been seeing or feeling the energy shift in the last couple of days. I'm going to look at the comments now. Hey, Kim. Hey, Janine. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Ann. I don't know. You guys comment if you have been feeling the energy a little bit, because when the nodes of the moon start to get ready to change, we really do feel the shift. And I'm going to talk in depth about that, but there's also a new moon coming up on the 17th, which is next Monday. We're already building towards that. It's a very powerful new moon. But these last couple of days, July 10th, 11th, and 12th, we're right in the middle of it, have been some really powerful energy. The moon is aligned with where the nodes of the moon are right now. We've also got the sun doing some talking to Chiron, which is where we have our wounds and our healing to do. And then the sun is having a conversation with Venus. And all of that put together in a blender is making the energy really prime for breakthroughs. So if there's something that's been like ruminating and going around and around in your mind, something you haven't been able to quite grasp or find out for yourself, like what the process you need to do to really unearth it or reconcile it is, in the next few days, really, really tune in and listen to that inner voice, because we're going to be getting a lot of messages from our own intuition, from our guides, from the people around us, randomly in conversation, etc., where you're going to find that things just like have aha moments. Things all of a sudden become meaningful to you in some very particular way. This is really about stepping into our authority. And we kind of touched on that subject a lot with all of the Pluto-Uranus squares that we had in 2022. And now in 2023, the energy is really going to be heightened, and it starts to ignite in these next couple of days and then builds and builds until the end of the year. It's an energy that really is pushing us to step into our own power. It's pushing us to step into our destiny. And I know that sounds really lofty. What does that mean? It means that all of those things that you have been pushing off, the accomplishments that you haven't done and you keep procrastinating on, the situations that you really need to change and fix, but you keep kicking the can down the road, the clutter in our lives, the distractions, the interlopers, the visitors, the whatever you want to call them, the energies that are holding us back in some way. A lot of that's going to erupt and a lot of it's going to dissolve. More so than we've seen in the last couple of years, because now it gets to be really personal. The nodes of the moon go into, North Node goes into Aries from Taurus, and the South Node goes in from Scorpio to Libra. So if you have any planets in Aries and Libra, you're really going to feel this on a very personal basis. If you have any points in your chart, like your ascendant, descendant, your MC, which is where your career arc is, your IC, which is where your family arc is, this is going to affect you. The nodes of the moon change every 18 months. The last time they were in the area where they're lining up to go to, they actually officially changed on the 17th, but we're feeling this energy build now. We're 2004 and 2006, between that time frame, that 18 months. Prior to that, it was 1984, I think. I'm going to look at my notes. I have a lot of notes today. It was, December 2004 to June 2006. And then it was 1986 to December 1987. So think about what were the major themes in your life during those times, because they're coming back around. Wherever you have Aries and Libra in your chart, whichever house it is, this is the quest. The North Node in your chart, when it hits that house, it develops into a change, a situation, a rising up of something in your life that's there to tweak you. The South Node is going to be in Libra, and the South Node is the things we've already done, even in other lifetimes. The South Node is the things that we already mastered. Now we're kind of instinctual about them. It's the way we react out of instinct. It's habits. It's things that we've outgrown and need to leave behind and go towards that North Node. When I do a chart for someone and I see where the North Node is by house and sign, that absolutely indicates to me exactly what their arc of development in this lifetime, how is their soul meant to evolve over their lifetime. And then it also shows me exactly what they're here to do, what their destiny is. I know that sounds insane, but it's the truth. I can look at any chart and see that. And if you look on the screen now, we have something about the lunar nodes. So the lunar nodes are aspects. They're not planets. They're actually points where the moon's orbit pierces through the ecliptic. Now, if that sounds really lofty and hard to understand to you, basically it's just a point where the nodes actually meet their orbit in a certain way. And it's been discovered over thousands of years that those nodes of the moon, the lunar nodes, really govern parts of our life, because the moon is so powerful. It's an energy where, and we'll leave this slide up for a few minutes because I'm going to work with it. So the moon is very powerful. You know, every new moon and full moon, we get surges. You can feel the gravitational pull of the earth. Water is leveled. Water rises. We're made up of what? 80% water. So the lunar nodes really affect us, and they affect our DNA, and they affect the way that we think, do, and breathe through life. Where they are in the chart shows us how they do that. So the North Node represents your future. When I see, as I said, the North Node, I look where that is in the chart. The North Node leads me to your full potential. My North Node is in Leo. I am here to be acknowledged. I'm here, my South Node is in Aquarius. I'm here not to be so overly concerned with how I fit in to the general plan. I'm a clarion to give the world ideas and perspective they've never had before. That's my role in life. You know, I'm not saying I'm Eleanor Roosevelt or Abraham Lincoln, but I was put here on the earth to be a clarion for change. I was put here on the earth for enlightenment of others and to be acknowledged for that enlightenment. I hope in some small way I accomplish that, whether it's through my family and friends or through a partner or through my own sovereignty and coming into my own power. I can, in a chart, see wherever that is for you and give you a map and a roadmap to how to be there in your life. It's about soul satisfaction. The South Node in our life, like I said, is the places we've already been. We've mastered them, or we've got some kind of bad habits. I hate to use the word bad, but like habits that don't allow us to grow would be my idea of a bad habit. Something that's, puts the brakes on in your life. It's just a distraction. It's something that you keep doing over and over again, and you just can't seem to get out of that rut. It feels good to you because you've done it for thousands of years in other lifetimes, but you're not here to repeat it. You're here to break away from it. So the South Node in Aquarius is very much a symbolism of maybe in another life I was persecuted for my beliefs. And in this lifetime, North Node in Leo means I'm supposed to acknowledge them and acknowledge myself and be acknowledged. South Node in Aquarius might bring in themes of invisibility, where I didn't speak my piece. I didn't say what I needed to in other lives. And in this life, I'm here to say it in a very healthy and simplistic way. So you can see how the chart gives us the meaning, and then where our planets are and how the transits affect us give us the roadmap of how to get there, how to get our soul satisfied, how to follow our North Node, just so to speak. So this energy starts to come in now, 10th, 11th, and 12th. Don't be surprised if you find yourself speaking your piece, and saying things and wanting to speak up. That's going to be happening a lot over the next 18 months. Aries is an energy that is very independent. It is an energy that makes us very strong in our belief system. Typical Aries would be, I know who I am, being unapologetic for it and moving forward in their life. That's a very Aryan type of energy. The lower octave of Aryan energy is, it's all about me. It's all about my needs, me first, me. Anger, aggression, god of war, warlike. They're ruled by Mars. That would be the lower energy of an Aries. But Aries energy can really help us in our ambition and our energy to move our life forward. And that's why I say I feel like the next 18 months with this particular dynamic in play, we are going to be pushed into our full potential. Now, what do I mean by pushed? Well, pushing us into the full potential could mean that things that we keep repeating, a relationship we're stuck in, suddenly falls away. Unexpectedly, that partner comes to us and says, I don't want to be here anymore. It could be us that does that, but either way, fate and the universe is going to push you into your full potential. Now, we all have free will. What you decide is up to you. I can only speak, for instance, I'll give a personal example of my mom. And my mom found herself divorced after a very, very long marriage. I was, a young teenager, the last of 5 children, and when my mother was probably in her early 50s or maybe 50 when they were divorced, my mom and dad. And my mom never dated, never put herself out there, was not really a social person too much, the minimal. It was almost like a part of her life never got fulfilled. That was her choice. She certainly had opportunity. She's a beautiful woman, but she just closed, So I think that that's an example of us, destiny doesn't want us to do that, but we have a choice. And, you could fall into your couch and never leave your house. And that's, your choice, and you're comfy there, but that's probably not what you're supposed to do. I know I struggle with that myself sometimes because the world isn't always such a great place to be outside in these days. So sometimes I really want to stay home, but we're meant to connect. We're meant to love each other. So that would be an example just of someone not using their free will in the right place. Other examples are, we all have bad habits. Maybe we overindulge in alcohol or drink or talk too much or whatever it is. And we keep choosing to do those things. Well, in an energy like this, the Aries energy and the Libra energy are going to come in to try and balance that for you. There's a lot about relationships in the next 18 months. When the nodes of the moon are in Aries and Libra, it is a relationship axis. It is an axis about bringing you to full potential in your relationships, creating situations that bring you to full potential in your relationships. And we all know that's not an easy thing because oftentimes it means people will fall away. You have to walk away. I often say in my lifetime, I've walked away from plenty of people I love. Just because you love them doesn't mean you feel loved there. So you're going to have to really put on your big girl panties, all of us are, and really evaluate our relationships, because this North Node and South Node axis of Aries and Libra is all about that. The South Node in Libra is all about, as we know, I had explained, South Node is where we've been. So typically, South Node in Libra will react in our lives in relationship form as I don't really speak up. Libra energy hates conflict. So you go along to get along. You rise to every occasion and do always the right thing. And you just, everyone thinks you're just wonderful, but you're miserable because you keep doing the things that everyone wants you to do and you don't really want to do them. That's a South Node Libran energy that for all of us in the collective now is going to be highly amplified. So you're going to start to see people not want to do those things anymore. You're going to see boundaries come in. You're going to see people drawing a line in the sand. And remember, we want to do that in a loving way. You're probably already feeling some of this energy, it's funny because I was watching over the weekend, somebody that I was with was watching a repeat of The Sopranos. And there was this show that I don't really watch, but there was a scene in it where Meadow asks her mother for a sandwich. And she's like laying in bed playing on her computer or whatever. And she goes, "Ma, can I have a sandwich?" And Carmela, I think her name is, she just looks at her like, and Meadow's like 18 years old, asking her mother to go make her a sandwich. Because she's always done it. And she's always because she's always asked, and Carmela always made the sandwich. This is the energy of, I'm not making your freaking sandwich. What the hell? So we're going to have a lot of unmade sandwiches in the next 18 months, but it's for us to step into our power. And I just, I kind of use a lighthearted thing there, but this could be about a lot of things, that mom that has been really taking advantage of you for a long time, that you just feel like she's, learned helplessness and doesn't want to do the right thing. The kids that never grew up. Maybe it's you that is too dependent. And in this energy, the universe is going to push you into a place where you have to be independent and you're forced to do it. So that could be easy and gentle if you're acknowledging that, or it may be that you got to get on the head with a hammer. So either way, that's the energy coming in. Hey, Elaine, Elizabeth, I have Pauline. Her guy has a South Node in Aries, Libra, 9th and 3rd house. That's relationships, especially with siblings. 3rd house is relationship with siblings. 9th house, Libra, would be higher learning and balance, diplomacy. Don't be surprised if in this energy, he discards something that he always thought was interesting and goes to a completely different path. But that North Node in Aries, if that's the 3rd house, that is absolutely going to be relationships with siblings, cousins, neighbors, things like that. Anything like a short distance relationship is going to be completely changed and overhauled in this energy. That's really, what's going to happen for all of us. So Pauline says her North Node is in the 2nd house in Virgo, and the 7th house is her South Node in Pisces. South Node in Pisces, you probably came into this world with past lives of persecution for religious beliefs, not being imaginative enough. And in this lifetime, you're here to absolutely pursue metaphysical things, the occult, that kind of stuff. Virgo, North Node, you're here to serve, baby. You're here to help the world and be some kind of a healer in some aspect. So I'm going to go over really quick with you guys, and then I want to talk a little bit more. Hey, Kim. I hope everything's going well for Kim. And then I'm going to talk a little bit more about the astrology, and then we'll do cards. So when you look at your chart, if we put up the North Node, South Node again, Bob, if you look at your chart, the thing that looks like a horseshoe, almost looks like a little girl's hair wearing earphones, that is your North Node. It's pointing upwards, right? When you look at your chart, you want to see what house the North Node is in, where it is on your chart, and what sign it's in, and you'll be able to decipher that. That's your North Node. Your South Node looks the other way. We in astrology call the South Node the dragon's tail, and the North Node is the dragon's head, because the tail is where you've been, the head is where you're going. So I'm going to go really quick through what your quest would be and this is not the North Node and South Node now, it's transiting Aries and Libra. But if you just have your normal natal North Node in Aries, That's your quest is for independence. In Aries, your battle is going, if your North Node natally in your chart is in Aries, it's a battle for independence. It's knowing when not to let the balance veer out to the other way around, where you're not letting anyone help you. You're not taking help. Nobody knows what's going on. You're perfectly capable. Don't tell me what to do. Aries is that ram. It's going to be a struggle between that, and nobody really knows. Nobody knows better than me. I know what's good for me. It's going to be a struggle between that and being independent in a very healthy way, being independent in a way that is healthy and balanced without insulting people or going too far in the extreme and isolating yourself from sometimes good advice. Being balanced in the sense of I can still be independent, but still listen to others and realize I don't know everything, that there may be something I'm missing here and maybe someone who knows more I should really listen to. That's going to be your quest for that independence, but in a balanced and healthy way. If your North Node is in Taurus, it's going to be about consolidation for you. The North Node in Taurus, sometimes people come into this lifetime, and especially with a Taurus North Node, they're all about the things and the materialism, and they want all these resources. They want to accumulate stuff. But what the North Node in Taurus really wants you is to consolidate and go within your own resources to bring yourself abundance. You don't need the new car, the bright, shiny object, the earrings, the jewelry. You need to find the resources within you that are valuable and build on those. If your North Node is in Gemini, you're going to have a quest for communication. Your whole life is going to be about clear communication. Where do I find it? How do I get it? How do people understand me? How can I be heard? How can I be heard if North Node is in Gemini? If your North Node is in Cancer, it's all about the family. It's about finding security in the family and security within yourself and your own home, and not going into your shell when something uncomfortable happens. It's about learning that sometimes when things are uncomfortable, I'm still supposed to connect with others because that's where the love is and the vulnerability is. If your North Node is in Leo, that's acknowledgement, where my North Node is. That is not allowing yourself to be invisible, not allowing other people to override you, not allowing other people to push you to the side. I'm the youngest of 5 kids, so you can imagine what that was like, and some of them are a lot older than me. So growing up, it was like, I was never heard. How do you hear yourself over 5 kids? So that acknowledgement. If your North Node is in Virgo, it's going to be appreciation. It's going to be you want to heal the world. You want to be seen for the help that you give others, but your quest is going to be for appreciation. If your North Node is in Libra, your quest is going to be for harmony. How do I obtain harmony in my life? You're going to keep seeking harmony through others until you realize that the harmony has to come within yourself first, that you can't please everyone until you too are satisfied within yourself, and then the harmony comes. If your North Node is in Scorpio, it's genuineness. It's authenticity. Scorpions kind of hide, right? You burrow. You don't really want anyone to know exactly what you're thinking or exactly how you're feeling because you feel threatened by that. So the Scorpio North Node person's quest is going to be for authenticity and to be able to truly be yourself wherever you're functioning in the world. If your North Node is in Sagittarius, your quest is for experiences. Your quest is for being out there, experiencing life. You want to know what things are. You have a natural curiosity. The South Node possibly would be a situation where you are dampening yourself, diluting yourself, not allowing yourself to explore and have the experiences in life you want. So your quest is going to be for experiences. In Capricorn, if your North Node natally is in Capricorn, you're going to have a quest for authority. And authority, again, in a balanced way. Are you running roughshod over everybody and being the boss, the mountain goat that climbs the mountain? Or are you allowing yourself to rule with some kind of unity and connection and finding authority within yourself where you're not threatened? If your North Node is in Aquarius, you are the reformer. You are going to have a quest for reformation and reform in your life all the time. Can you do that without being the revolutionary and causing more havoc? If your North Node is in Pisces, it's going to be enlightenment. You're here to find enlightenment, to find things that make sense and understanding. Also, a North Node in Pisces sometimes will be someone who has quite an affinity for off-planet energy, alien energy, things like that. So that's a general rundown. But when the new moon comes next Monday, it's on the same day as the nodes of the moon that we're talking about go into North Node Aries, South Node Libra. Very, very powerful, powerful time that now we have embarked on. And the other part of this, if we could put up the chart, Bobby, the regular chart that I wrote on. No, the next one. Yeah. So if you're all looking at this chart, Pluto is ruling the day. So we've got a lot of aspects to Pluto I'm going to go over really quickly with you. And I know this probably looks like mumbo jumbo, but this is what I do in my spare time. So Pluto is in the final degrees of Capricorn because it just egressed back there, went backwards on a retrograde from Aquarius. So Pluto in Capricorn at 29 degrees, you see that at the top of the chart. So with Pluto in Capricorn at 29 degrees, this means that anytime a planet hits 29 degrees of any sign in the zodiac, and there are 12 signs, it's going to have some kind of an aspect to Pluto, the planet of transformation. The nodes are squaring Pluto, which means they're having a conversation of tension when they finally go into Aries and Libra because they're at the final degrees of their previous signs. So you can see where I wrote on here, I circled North Node down at the lower left, and then up to your upper right corner, you have South Node. They're going to be at 0 degrees of Taurus and Scorpio because the nodes travel backwards in the zodiac. So they're ending their time in those two signs. They're at the final degree, which would really be the first degree of the sign, but they go backwards. And they're going to go into 29 degrees of Aries and 29 degrees of Libra. And when they do that, they square the nodes of the moon. This happens around the same time as that new moon in Cancer comes in on the 17th, which is next Monday. And if that isn't enough, then if you look at this chart, everything I've circled is really egressing a late degree of a sign. We've got Mercury in the late degrees at 29 degrees of Cancer. We've got Venus in Leo, which is also about to go retrograde this month, traveling backwards at 25 degrees of Leo, which is that little green thing with the cross on the bottom. And then we've got Mars, the aggressor, at 0 degrees of Virgo, just egressing into Virgo this month. So that Mars energy will also be opposing Capricorn and having a sextile, which is also a conversation of tension. So what does all this mean? It means that these nodes of the moon, these arc of developments that we have, thanks, Bobby, are actually more powerful than ever right now and until the end of the year because of all this activity going on in the same degrees of the zodiac all around the whole circle. You've got all of these crisscrosses and squares and triads and quintiles and all these things. So these nodes of the moon are going to keep getting activated and keep getting activated. So what does that mean for us? Well, it means that we're going to really be fighting for our independence, that Aries energy. We're going to really be fighting for our control, our sovereignty, what really feels good to us, what feels right within our soul, what energy really aligns with us. And as we do this, that Libran energy is seeking balance. It's seeking us to stop the old ways. Suddenly we're going to wake up one morning and we're going to start thinking. And we're going to start thinking like this. You know, I used to always do whatever, but I don't really feel like doing that anymore. I guess I liked it then, but I don't really like it so much now. And why are we thinking like that? Because our frequency is changing. Our frequency is changing for a lot of reasons. The vibration of the world is changing, all right? But these nodes of the moon are one of the main reasons. When they change signs, the frequency changes. So you're going to find in the next 18 months a lot of relationships falling away. Your friendships are going to change. Your relationships with groups, people you do things with, it's going to change. You're going to find new people, and you're going to find people that maybe you've been friends with for years and years and years just aren't working for you anymore. You know, they're just not really where you want to be. And so that's because your frequency family, the people you like to hang out with, the people that feel good around you, are changing. Everyone in the collective is changing. We're syncing in a different way because we've got planets and vibrations in places where they've never been before. And it's all stimulating change. We can dream things we've never dreamed. We can manifest things we've never manifested. We can keep working with reality, but now we have the ability to really create something that we didn't think was possible before. So this all starts to really gel, all right? It's going to be a push-pull because we've got Mars and Saturn also working together, and Saturn is limitations, and Mars is our, force field. It's our work forward. So you've really got to pay attention to your discernment. And that's where these North Nodes, Aries and Libra come in. This is about us learning how powerful we are, while at the same time being able to discern what really doesn't work. What's too far? What's too much? And in this energy, if you go too far, maybe you're a little too aggressive or too assertive or maybe too indulgent about something, the universe is going to pull you back. The universe is going to show you the error of your ways. And it may not be gentle, but the end result is going to make you very powerful. So just watch and really observe and be the observer in your life and try and find those places where what used to feel really good doesn't anymore, or what never really felt good has now just reached the point of intolerance and you will not do it anymore. You're going to find that really heightened, especially between now and the end of the year and then for the next 18 months. Being that the nodes of the moon are going to be in Aries and Libra, this is also where the eclipses will fall for the next 18 months, because eclipses can only happen when the moon or the sun are by the nodes. So the eclipses will all be in Aries and Libra as well. So remember, whatever planets or whatever things are aspecting this part of your chart, this is where your eclipses are going to be. And we all know those are endings and beginnings. So there's a lot of change that's going to happen. On July 21st, the sun opposes Pluto, while Pluto is squaring the nodes. That is an energy of very, very intense moving from like inner dimensions to outer dimensions. In English, what do I mean by that? Well, that is the things that you always thought about, the things that you're thinking sometimes. You're cleaning the house or you're washing the car, you're grocery shopping, you're like, I got to end this relationship. This really isn't doing anything for me. Or, I should have told my daughter off today. Or, oh, you know what? I just can't keep running around for my mother. She's so ungrateful. Those things that you're thinking about, they're going to come into your outer world. So be very, very careful what you are thinking, and be very careful, because you will manifest those things at a very high rate, especially the 20th, 21st, and 22nd of this month when the sun is opposing Pluto, while Pluto squares the nodes of the moon. Those are arcs of fate, destiny, covenants. Good things can happen as well there. You may meet someone and they prove to be a very influential person in your life. You may decide to make a decision to do something or end something then at your own control, and it will be extremely abundant for you. This is a potential period where power struggles will heat up. I'm telling you, the news towards those days of the month, you're going to see a lot of stuff happening. It's assertion and aggression. It's not an easy period at all around the 21st of the month, 22nd as well. Things don't become around the 22nd. Things are going to be not so clear. What is my desire really? But stay in love, because love is going to show you where the desire is. I'm really excited about these next few months, and especially about this particular time in July, the 20-somethings. And I'm very excited because I really believe between now and the end of this year, we are going to be clearing out so much stuff that does not serve us. I'm going to be getting texts and phone calls from all of you about things that are going on. It's really going to be a powerful time. And if we don't hold on to what we need to let go of, and if we can see that the universe is really trying to show us our path, a clear path, and we don't lament the future, we don't get nostalgic, this can be a really powerful time where things that maybe you tried to do before and couldn't, you really will be able to do. It's exciting. It's great. The North Node in Aries is a powerhouse. That is like really pushing things forward. But remember, we're being pushed forward at a time when the world really isn't stable. And that's why that Aryan energy really asks of us to find the stability within us. I know who I am, and I don't need anyone to validate it. I know who I am. I know when I'm being lied to. I know who I am. I know when you're trying to pull the wool over my eyes. I know who I am, and that doesn't feel right to me. I'm going to do what feels right. That's the energy. And doing that in a very calm way, in a very healthy way, in a way that doesn't upset the apple cart to the extent where it's harming you as well as other people. And that's really the energy. I mean, it's going to make you uncomfortable. It's going to push all of us into a destiny and a future that maybe we think we're not ready for, but we are ready for it. It's just effort and ambition, and it's going to take a lot of energy. And that's why you've got to clear out those things that aren't good for you, because in the long run, those things have no business clogging you up. They have no business distracting you. Bobby and I were having a conversation before the broadcast today about, allowing things to disturb our peace, and really almost like how sinful that is, that we waste our energy that God gave us that way, right? So, and I hate to use that word, but it almost is like that. We don't realize we're creating karma for ourselves when we allow things to step in our way and go in our path and not allow us to be in the full potential that God created us to do. It really is true. So I'm going to go to cards. I'm going to look at the comments. And then also when this new moon comes in on Monday, just know that that's really, really potent energy. And it's very easy when I say like the world is in an unstable place. We all know that. And it's really, time for us to become more powerful. And that's hard to do. It's hard to find our way sometimes when we're in a place where things are unstable. When that happens, sometimes we can go into an illusion that we are separate from everyone and we want to go into our shell, or we want to isolate, or we think we know something different than the rest of the world, and maybe we do. It's a time when the illusion can happen that makes us feel like we're not part of the world. We're here and someone's here, or our consciousness is higher than others, and therefore we're separate. We're never separate. And if you start to think about the energy separating you in this time frame of the world, it's not a good place to go. You need to find your family of frequency. You need to find your tribe. I hate to use that word also, because I always feel like a tribe is people who all have to believe the same thing and do the same thing, and that's really not what we want to accomplish in our life. But you need to find someplace where you're not judged, and where things happen that are accepted and beautiful and redeemed. And we all need to do that, because in this energy, if we go into a place of separateness and we go into a place of isolation and thinking we're separate from the world, we're different, that's going to really take away a lot of our energy and power. All right. Going to go to the comments. So thank you everyone for watching. Good evening, everybody. Hey. Okay. Got people from South Carolina, everywhere. Janine says she was just telling her therapist that today. I've been doing that for a while now. Self-respect for myself. Yeah, and I think we've seen that, especially, I know your sun is in Capricorn, Janine, especially that Capricorn energy that we've had in play with Pluto being in Capricorn. But now that energy is going to have power behind it. It's like we stopped the pity party of, not that you were in a pity party, Janine, but just in general. Like we stopped that energy of, I'm sick of people. They're always treading on me. La, la, la. We don't care about that anymore. Now we're moving forward. We're like, yeah, that happened. You know what? I'm going to take care of it now. I'm going where I need to go. I'm going to do what I need to do for myself. And now it's like the energy shifts from feeling bad about what everyone else is doing to who cares? I'm just going to do what I need to be doing to make myself happy and satisfied. So the energy really does switch in that regard. That's that Aries energy that pushes us forward. North Node in Aquarius in the 10th house. Sarah, again, Aquarius energy is energy that comes in to remind us that we are part of the world. We're not separate. Aquarian energy is all about community. With the North Node in the 10th house, that's house of career. So more than likely you were meant to be here to be a healer of some kind or to bring people together. So I'm not sure what you do for profession or even as a hobby or a passion project, but you're definitely put on this earth to bring people together. That could even be family, but North Node in 10th in Aquarius is absolutely that. Elaine says she just got on Pisces. Where is my North Node? I don't know what that means. I can look at your chart though. All right. And I am going to pick some cards. So I'm going to pick a card for Sarah first. I don't know why. Name just jumped out at me. So, and I know when I do the charts with all my little notations on them, it probably makes you guys like, what the hell is that? But you'll get used to it as I keep doing it. It's really easy to read a zodiac chart. It actually is. I'm going to be putting up some courses and classes in the next few months. We're making those now on my website where you can, learn basics astrology and things like that. So, Sarah, these cards are for you. I'm being told to pick 2 cards out of the middle of the deck, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, we got the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Wands. So I feel like the Queen of Swords is you, Sarah. And in this particular spread, the Queen of Swords is actually going towards the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is coming towards the Queen of Swords. So this is a young male fire sign that is coming in to meet you halfway. I feel like you're going towards them and they're going towards you. These 2 cards really look like a compromise to me. So if there's something you've been working on in your life, it's going to come together. Just keep having love and compassion there, because I feel like there is a lot of love and compassion. So I wanted to, and I forgot before I was going to say this and I forgot to, so I'm going to say it now. I did my Tarot Tuesday thing. It'll be up on Zencuda on YouTube by the end of this evening. And I didn't do one last week because it was a holiday and everything. And on all 4 signs, because I do air, water, earth, and fire for the week of, normal tarot. So if you don't get a card here, you go on Tuesday Tarot and Zencuda. Every time, and I shuffled. Every time I picked a card for a group, the Judgment card came out. And I said in the video, if it comes out tonight in my show, it's going to be really something. So we'll see if it comes out. But the Judgment card is absolutely the significator of the energy we're talking about with the nodes of the moon. The Judgment card is rebirth. It's hearing messages, listening to our soul, listening to our intuition in order to have our own sovereignty and our own power that comes from within us. That's what Zencuda and the soul space is all about. It's about finding your potential within you via your own intuition and what feels right to you in your body, in your soul, in your alignment with just your everyday living. So that Judgment card came out in every single reading. So that was just confirmation of what the energy is like right now. Going to pick a card for Carrie Ann. I know Carrie Ann also reads, so we'll see. I can never read myself, Carrie Ann, so I'm always glad when someone picks cards for me. So I hope that'll be good for you. Okay. Carrie Ann, I feel like I know you read also, and I feel like you've got a lot of spirit around you right now. Like I'm picking up male, female. You've got a lot of spirit around you. So they're telling me to make sure that you have some kind of a thing that you do, or not, I don't want to say ritual, but just a habit that you do before and after meditating or, channeling, reading. You got to take some time, whether it's grounding or out in nature or whatever, to clear yourself, because I feel like there's a lot of energy hanging around you right now. Yeah, I got the Death card for you, which means you should clear. Not literal death, but just like I think something's ending also, but I think this is indicative of the people on the other side. Got a lot of energy around you. I feel it especially around your head and ears. So if you've been hearing things or, just vibration sometimes, that is a big deal. This is the Abundance card also. The 7 of Pentacles came up with the actual Death card in reverse. This significator also means in traditional tarot that you may be getting an inheritance from someone who passed away. That could be, but I'm feeling this more in a spiritual way, that this is hard work paying off for you. And like you're reaping what you sow, like the seeds that you planted are going to start really growing. But I do really want to just say, because they're putting that in my ear, to make sure that you have your own ritual of quietude where you clear yourself and clear yourself well, because I feel like the energy is going to start to feel scattered to you if you don't do that. So take that with you. Okay, sweetie. Next, I'm going to pick a card for Corinne, who's Liz's daughter. How you doing, Corinne? Hope things are going good. I'm going to pull a couple of cards for you. I know you guys have dogs in the house. I feel like there's a dog near Corinne right now. I don't know if he's on her lap or something, but I feel like there's a dog like right by you. And they're telling me to tell you to take more responsibility with the dog. Yeah, that card fell out. I'm going to put that there. Yeah, the Happy card came out. So this is the Marriage card that just pulled out of the deck, but I feel like this isn't for you. I feel like someone around you. I know your sister's getting married. It's not that. Someone around you in your sphere where you are is going to be announcing or has just gotten engaged, and you're going to play a part in that somehow, maybe be in the wedding or something. Okay, so Corinne, I got the World card. You got to do a little balancing. If you're waiting to hear news about something, it is coming. I'm seeing the number 3 weeks, I feel like. But in the meantime, you've got to use the time to balance, because the more you can balance the world around you and your own world, the better this situation works out for you, that whatever it is you're looking to hear news from. I feel like it might be an employment or a job or an opportunity of some kind like that. Um, you got to stay balanced and you have to stay even flow, because you're going to manifest whatever the outcome is on that. And you don't want to be really up and down and erratic, because then you'll get that. This is really wanting you to be balanced. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles, like you're the queen on the throne. You want to make sure you're in control. You know, you feel kind of zen. Do whatever you need to do every day, whether that's walking, swimming, meditating, something that's really bringing your energy down evenly, because I feel like this thing that's being orchestrated now is being orchestrated absolutely in alignment with whatever your energy is going to be at the current moment. So really do not allow yourself to be angst and all that. King of Wands came out, fire sign male around you. I feel like this person is someone that has the ability to help you and also has the ability to disturb your peace a bit. So that's an energy that you're put on this earth to balance with him. All right. I don't feel like it's a romantic interest. I feel like it's more like a dad or a teacher or mentor or something. All right. So that's the reading for Corinne. Who else do we have here? Kim, I'm going to pull a card for you as well. All right. And I'm going to pull one for Anita after you. So I'll do Kim and Anita. Kim, I'm seeing small children around you. I know you have grandchildren. I have no idea how old they are, but I'm seeing, like, I don't know if they're planning a visit or something. I feel like they're going to be around you, like joyfully. I feel joy. I also feel a lot of relief. I just got the Knight of Swords. So if they're planning a trip, you might not know about it yet. It's like a surprise. Something's a surprise. But I feel like a relief or a release coming in for you. So yeah, the health card is coming up as well. So whatever this was that you're worried about, there's a good outcome coming. And I feel like you get a visit from family and it's just a really great time. Yeah, definitely. I've got absolutely something happened that was really like an interruption. Something coming in between a relationship for you, or almost like I feel like you and husband had something interrupting, like something coming in between. But now that time has passed. I'm seeing this health card really come out strongly. All right. The sun beaming, rebirth, new baby. And then this is in the past, this like emergency situation, King of Swords. This is my like 911 card. So they're telling me this story. And now I'm feeling like things are coming into harmony. But I think you have a surprise visit from kids coming in. Yeah, because Page of Swords just came. So this is communication. If you're waiting for the results of any kind of tests or anything like that, they're going to be very favorable. You're past the part of new beginnings. You're past the part of things falling away, trying times, challenging. The worst is over. New beginnings come. All right, Kim. So just take that with you. And I'm going to pull a card for Anita. That's all we're going to have time for tonight. So make sure you go on Zencuda. It'll be up later tonight, the Tuesday Tarot. And that's where we do a reading for everybody. So Anita, I'm going to pull some cards for you. Anita, I feel like I know you have a toddler boy. I'm feeling him come in really close around you. Did you recently start some kind of a new situation with him being in care, or like a summer camp, or, school or something? I feel like there's some issues there you're worried about. I think you're going to switch him. Yeah, I feel you're worrying about this. You're going to get a communication that confirms your worries. I don't think anything bad happened. I think he's just not great in the environment. I feel like he's really going to surge in a newer environment. I have the heartbreak card coming up. Don't allow this to, be a big angst for you, or anxiety or worry. Just move him to another place. I feel like maybe if this is the situation, he's in some kind of care situation, you're worried about it, just find a different one. Don't keep yourself stuck there because you have an awkwardness or an embarrassment about the situation. I would definitely look for a change. You follow your intuition. Follow your intuition is telling you exactly the truth, baby. So make some changes there. Okay. And that is the cards for tonight. I want to thank you all for coming in to the Soul Space with me. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and have all your friends subscribe to it. Trying to get enough viewers there so we can do lives there. It's so much easier. and in between the Soul Space podcast. And also, if you'd like a private reading, whether it's a mediumship reading, cards, or astrology, if you would like to really work together with astrology and life coaching to be on your path and really find your full potential, just give me a shout out. I'm always here to help. And of course, Zencuda.com. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you right here next week, 7 p.m. in the Soul Space. Bye.